All right, so we are live here. This is the Sports 24 online show, and as we promised, this is the EPL review where we are looking at the start of the 2021-2022 EPL season. And as you can see, Say is here. There's a second person that I'll be introducing very, very soon. We are going to look at the general preparations of clubs so far as we wait for the start of the EPL tomorrow at exactly 7 p.m. Brentford versus Arsenal. I will have my take on that one. I've been saying, as for Arsenal, where you want them to deliver, they disappoint. Where you think they will disappoint you is where they deliver. But that will be at the latter end. Say is here, and then also we have Mark Bless Mauto. Yes, is also here. We are going to do the analysis. As you can see, join us with your comments as well. Leave your comments in the comment box and let us have a very, very good discussions here. It will be just 45 minutes. So quickly, let me go to say, and then we'll start the discussions. Say, I want us to begin this with transfers because mostly when the EPL is going to start, we generally look at new players that have come in. But it looks as if the market has been quiet. But for one or two, I can say Sancho and then Grealish. What do you think has accounted for the low, or the quiet nature of this year's transfer market?
Thank you very much, Kokodo. I think that we're looking forward to an exciting 2021-2022 Premier League season. Definitely, last season was marvelous, especially for clubs like Liverpool, who many didn't actually expect to be in the top four during the course of the season. Their ending was superb. We saw clubs like West Ham United, making it to Europe, and so the expectations are very, very high. And definitely, you could see from last season that some of these clubs definitely need to augment the teams going forward. The likes of Manchester United, after 12 points gap between them and Manchester City, definitely will be looking forward this time round to at least, if they are not picking the trophy, then they should close that gap. And so you can see they are very, very busy in the market. Yes, it's been quiet because of a lot of factors. One of them has to do with the pandemic that has rocked the entire world. I think that it has affected every single, team across the length and breadth of this world, and that is even one of the reasons why UEFA has a bit softened its financial, fair play rules. That is giving a lot of clubs, that still have the resources. We have seen the likes of Manchester City breaking the English Premier or the British record of £100 million. We have seen Lionel Messi signing for Paris Saint-Germain with a lot of questions as to whether they also, found themselves within the limits of the financial fair play. But for sure, this is one of the reasons why most of these clubs, will have that power to sign players because that kind of restrictions have been limited. It has been softened by UEFA and it's because of the pandemic. It's the more reason why we haven't seen so much from the transfer market, especially in England, because some of the clubs that were so massively hit do not have the resources to go into the market. But hey, Kokodo, I think that it has taken a bit of attention, to the commencement of the English Premier League. You're looking at what transpired between the course of last week and then this week. Lionel Messi moved to that. His Paris Saint-Germain has taken a lot of attention from support followers of the English Premier League. We've been talking about Lukaku's arrival yesterday. He landed in England, and definitely we're looking forward to seeing the announcement from Chelsea. I know particularly well that Chelsea did not want to make this announcement because of the transfer around Lionel Messi. Remember, on Tuesday he had to sign, by which time, of course, Chelsea and then Inter Milan had struck up a deal already for Romelu Lukaku. He was even in Monaco with his agent to just finalize paperwork before he joins Chelsea. Many were expecting him to be registered ahead of yesterday's UEFA Super Cup match against Villarreal. But unfortunately, they realized that it will take the shine of their presentation of Lukaku to the entire public because look, at this time, most of these clubs are using social media. They are using the brand, of course, to make a lot of money. And to announce Lukaku's deal in the same day that Messi is being unveiled by Paris Saint-Germain, you definitely know that more of the attention will go to Paris than at Chelsea. So that is for me a very good strategy that the communication department of Chelsea did, just to wait a little while for the Messi contract issue to die off before they announce Lukaku's deal. I will not say entirely it's been quiet, apart from Newcastle United, who I know, of course, by the close of tomorrow, will also announce their first signing this season in Joe Weller, who has traveled to the northeast of England. Um, all the other clubs have had one or two signings. Yes, we're talking about Jadon Sancho's move to Manchester United from Borussia Dortmund. Another high-profile signing has to do with Rafael Varane from Real Madrid to Manchester United. Yes, Jack Grealish has set a record in the English Premier League, £100 million. Yes, the expectations were very, very high from even Manchester City, and they are still looking forward to, getting Harry Kane, who they think is their topmost priority in this particular transfer window. We still have about 19 days to end the transfer, and I think that there will be more business, coming up because Arsenal are still, locked in negotiations to see if they can get Aaron Ramsdale from Sheffield United. Well, I'm reading some stories today that suggest that they might not move forward because yesterday it was clear that Sheffield will have accepted the £24 million Arsenal table. But today the twist has come. Arsenal might not actually go ahead with that particular transfer, and we're still looking forward to seeing them make more signings. They are still interested in bringing Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid. They are looking at other options like James Madison of Leicester City. So for sure, we should expect from the next 19 days, to see more in the transfer market. I do not want this transfer market because initially the concerns were that the Premier League teams didn't want the transfer to be still in session whilst they are playing the competition because you can imagine Brandon Rogers having Madison in his plans. Then by the end of this month, he is pulled out from the club because a good bid has come and they have to accept that particular bid. Probably will jeopardize his plans going forward. But although let me assure you that there will be more of businesses to be done in the transfer market. I just do not want to take the shine. I do not want this transfer to take the shine from the commencement of the English Premier League tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much. And quickly, let me go to Malto. Malto, let's still stay with the transfer, activities in the EPL because it is starting tomorrow. Would you say you are okay? Is it that clubs are content with the players they have, or there are other reasons?
Well, thank you very much, KOD. I think that just as Seymour Barrick has rightly mentioned, it's not as if clubs are content with what they have, but circumstances beyond their control is what has tried to, from my point of view, cripple the transfer market a bit as far as transfers are concerned, especially in the EPL. Previously, when you look at previous seasons, you will see that all these were the EPL, as far as transfers are concerned, will be very busy. But I still expect that before the transfer window closes in England, we will see a few more signings for most of the clubs. Um, let's not forget that there are new entrants in the EPL. Let's not forget the likes of Brentford. Norwich is back. Watford is back. Now, Norwich and Watford, they were relegated last season and quickly they came back. So you should expect that these two teams, including Brentford, will not want to repeat the same mistakes they made in the previous season. You can ask the question, how many signs did Norwich did last season?
Hmm.
None.
Yeah.
No signing. They just came into the Premiership with most of their players who served them diligently in the Championship. And they held on to those players. But unfortunately, these players couldn't keep them in the Premiership. And they went back to the Championship. Now they are back again. I believe that such a team will make a few more signings so that they will have, if not for anything, they will have some strong backups going into the season. You realize that last season, at a certain point, Timu Puki, who was their top goal poacher, went silent. He held a drought for about 2 months. No goals were coming from Puki. But even when they qualified, their first 3-4 games, Pookie was scoring week in, week out. Remember the famous 3-2 win over Manchester City?
Yeah.
I think it was their third game of the or fourth game of the season, and they had to beat Manchester City. So then, as the season progressed, the season grew. Pookie went silent. No goals were coming. You will see that Cantwell had to come in once or twice to salvage a point for Norwich. And I believe that teams like Norwich and Watford will want to beef up their squad going into this season. So more signings will come as I'm looking at it because Varane coming in, Sancho coming in, Lukaku is in. I don't think it's enough. More players will need to come into the EPL. Well, as far as the EPL is concerned, we will see that the competition there is very high. And so teams want to also compete at the highest level. So
But how about internal transfers? Do you see the Kane to City move happening?
um, honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure in the sense that I was thinking that Kane and Grealish would have been like a double signing for Manchester City.
Okay.
But here is the case: they have gotten Grealish for £100 million. Do you think City will still go for another £100 million? I doubt. Because if they do, remember the FFP. UEFA will come knocking. Even the FA will begin to scrutinize them before UEFA will come knocking. So I don't see Hurricane moving, honestly. If he does, I'll be surprised. I was expecting it earlier. Grealish comes, Kane comes, and the deal is done. City is good to go. But if the Premiership is kicking off tomorrow and we are not hearing anything about Kane to City anymore, then I don't think Guardiola will want to distort his plans to bring in Kane later. Because, look, Guardiola as a coach will want to usually have a core of his team for the preseason. So if Kane did not have preseason with City, I don't think Guardiola will go in. Maybe in the near future, say come January, if things don't go well for Man City per their plans, or come next season. But for Kane moving, I don't see. But some internal movements here and there, I think that we may have one or two, especially with these new entrants. You know, they don't have the cash to splash to go out to import. They don't have, but they are coming from the championship. So naturally, they will spot one or two talents from the championship, which they will want to go for. So expect Watford to do one or two internal signings. Expect Norwich to do one or two internal, including Brentford as well. So let's see how the season goes as far as the EPL is concerned.
Okay, so let's see how the season goes. Let me get to say we are looking at Manchester City trying to defend the EPL. Aguero is gone. Now your rivals, Chelsea, are bringing in Lukaku. Gabriel Jesus is a fantastic striker. Does he have that character to carry the team on his shoulders, or is he going to rely on these false nine, bringing in Sterling and Co? Or you think Guardiola should push for the Kane deal to go through? Do you see Kane moving?
Well, I think that if you look at my top six for this particular season in the English Premier League, you still see Manchester City on top of the table because they still have a lot of materials that can defend, the Premiership. They want to make it four in the last 5 years, and that depends on how they manage the squad that they have. Honestly, Aguero's absence definitely is severely going to affect, Manchester City. Yes, we know that even during the course of his injuries last season, Guardiola had to depend on this false nine formation, which in most of the matches worked out. But can that definitely be maintained going forward? Because you have your other coaches who are reading your game anytime you play, and so if they are able to neutralize your system, it will be very difficult to go change those formations again. And so for me, today I read somewhere of the fact that Hurricane is still not happy. Nuno Espirito Santos on Monday had a chat, of course, with him on the issue of his future, and even promised that he is likely to start against Manchester City this particular weekend. The man is not ready because it's today he's supposed to return his, COVID test, and if it is negative, he has just today, tomorrow to train with the squad, and I do not know how prepared the player will be to, face against or face a team that is in the market to poach him. He's saying that he has a very gentleman agreement with Daniel Levy that when a good bid comes, they should allow him to go. And you could see from the last match he played at their new stadium last season, it was very clear, from Harry Kane's gestures to the fans that he definitely wants to move on to the next level. He's made it clear that he's an ambitious player. He's actually worked so hard for Tottenham Hotspur. It is time for him to test different clubs, in the EPL. But you see, Daniel Levy, as of now, is not ready to go to the table to discuss any negotiations with Manchester City. For sure, if Real Madrid is coming, if Paris Saint-Germain is coming, Juve is coming, I think that Daniel Levy would be more happy to deal with those clubs than dealing with a club internally. Because that is even the situation with Arsenal and Tommy Abraham. Abraham wants to stay in England, but Chelsea wants to sell him outside because they think that with the potential he has, he may cause a lot of trouble for them if a club within, England signs him. So for me, Gabriel Jesus was given a lot of time last season. He never took those chances that he got, and that is why Guardiola has lost so much trust in him, and that is why you can only see Raheem Sterling flanked by the likes of Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, or of course Riyad Mahrez in the setup of Manchester City. Yes, we are going to see more even players getting out of Manchester City. Bernardo Silva is not settled. His future is not settled now. And he wants to leave. He wants to join Barcelona. Arsenal, I'm told that has made a bid and he has rejected, to stay in England. So definitely, like Malto said, we're looking forward to seeing more of these transfers coming up. But honestly speaking, Manchester City still has a lot of materials, to defend the English Premier League. Manchester United are bringing in a lot. You see, Pep Guardiola, probably for me, this is going to be his last chance to prove to the hierarchy of Manchester United that he can do something for the club. If he fails, if he ends the season without any trophy, I do not think that they want to continue the project with him because they've given him enough resources. They've given him time to bring the players that he thinks can help Manchester United. Sancho's arrival, Varane arrival, definitely is going to convince a few of the players who had their futures unsettled. Paul Pogba probably will see these arrivals as a boost for him to stay in Manchester United. But let's see what happens. But for me, I'm disappointed in Gabriel Jesus. If they want to bring Harry Kane, yes, they can in any way. For sure, like I said, UEFA has been sorting the financial fair play because of the coronavirus pandemic, and that also gives Manchester City that opportunity. They will have to sell a few players to give way for Harry Kane to come. If the man is ready, why not? I think that we still have 19 days to see one or two signings.
Okay, still have 19 days to see one or two signings. Now, let's narrow it down to what we are expecting this season. And today, we all came out with our top six. I'll start off with Mark Bless Mount. This is your top six. First, Chelsea. Two, Liverpool. Third, Manchester United. Fourth, Manchester City. Fifth, Arsenal. And then sixth, Tottenham Hotspurs. Um, why put Chelsea in first position and put Manchester City fourth? Why this list? That's what I want to know.
All right, so KOD, thank you very much. I think that I thought or I think that Chelsea are likely, they have 90% probability from my point of view to win the Premier League. In the sense that ever since Tuchel came in and took over, we have seen how Tuchel has been able to marshal his players to play some beautiful football and to be able to amass some maximum points. Now, these same materials were managed by a certain Frank Lampard, and he could not get Chelsea the desired results. Tuchel comes in, takes over the team, makes it to Europe, also plays the Champions League and wins the Champions League trophy. So even if Tuchel had not made it to Europe by qualifying into the top four, he would have still played Champions League. But this man was able to qualify for Champions League by making it to the top four and also winning the Champions League. Moreover, yesterday he won another major trophy, which is the European Super Cup. So you see that Thomas Tuchel is a winner, and he has kept that mentality into these players. As I mentioned earlier, these are the same players that were managed by Frank Lampard. And it appeared they lost the winning mentality. Tuchel comes to take over, and these players are hungry to win. Now, another reason why I feel that Chelsea are likely to win the Premiership is because last season they played beautiful football, but the goals were not coming. Ever since Tuchel took over, it's like Tuchel had not scored or had not gotten plus 2 goals in a game throughout the season when he took over. His maximum wins were 2. If there are going to be more than 2 goals in a game, Chelsea were not going to score more than 2 goals. They will get 2, and the other team will get a goal or 2. So Chelsea will win 1-0. Chelsea will play goalless. Chelsea will win 2-0. Chelsea will win 2-1. Chelsea will play 1-1. So the goals were not coming. Timo Werner couldn't give them the goals. They brought in Timo Werner purposely for the goals, but he was rather giving assists instead of scoring. Now they have brought in a striker who had a fantastic season in Syria. Fantastic season. Look, Romelu Lukaku last season, if you ask me, was a revelation for the whole world because the expectations were very high when he came to England. Unfortunately, we did not see that. He went on loans a few times, eventually settled at Everton, and just when he was peaking at Everton, Manchester United can't call it. He goes to United. We saw glimpses, but he was not consistent at United. He comes to Inter. His first season, he gave them the goals. Second season, he was simply unstoppable. Talk of goals, talk of assists, talk of duels, talk of dribbles. Lukaku was a revelation last season. And now Lukaku comes to Chelsea, a second coming. He is coming to give Chelsea what they lacked last season when they brought in the likes of Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz. These guys couldn't give them that. Now they are seeing whether Lukaku can give them that. Let's hope that Lukaku brings what he delivered in the Serie A last season to the EPL. If he does that, trust me, Chelsea will win the league. If Lukaku gives them plus 20 goals this season in the EPL, 20 league goals, Chelsea will win the league. If Lukaku is not able to give them 20 league goals, then I doubt whether Chelsea will win the league. But if Lukaku can give them 20 league goals, Chelsea is definitely winning the league. Because if you look at Tuchel's style of play, he doesn't concede more goals. Unfortunately, he was not able to score more goals. Now Lukaku is coming to give them goals. So what do you expect? You score more, concede less. Now, I think that Liverpool are also contenders to win the league. Liverpool. And that is why Liverpool is my second on the list. My second on the list. Now, Liverpool are also contenders to win the league because last season they had a very poor season. I won't blame it on injuries. I feel that last season Liverpool were tired. Even the coach was tired. It got to a time it's like the coach has lost tactics. He didn't know which materials to use at what time when injuries set in. Look, if you ask me, there was no need bringing in Ozan Kabak on loan from Shaka. What was Kabak bringing on board? What was his age? Kabak was 20 years. Shaka, he was not getting the playing time. Shaka was suffering in the Bundesliga. So if Kabak was the solution, Shaka wouldn't have been relegated. We had similar players. Liverpool had similar players. His age, who equally are brilliant and talented. Yet, Klopp, I don't know whether he was confused or not, goes to bring in Kabak. For what? When you have Nat Phillips, when you have Rhys Williams, when you have a certain Seb Van Den Berg you have given out on loan, Billy Kumit you have given out, all these guys are 19, 20, 21, 22. So if you don't have Van Dijk, if you don't have Joe Gomez, if you don't have Joel Matip, definitely these guys could have done the job. Yet you are forcing Fabinho and Henderson to play in defense. At least one of them should and pair with the younger ones. But you chose to play two at the same time. These were your two holding midfielders. very pivotal for Liverpool. Yet you chose to bring them back. So who is going to shield them? Remember, these are supposed to be the shield for the defenders. Now they are coming to defend. Who shields them? There was no shield. And that was why Liverpool suffered. So if this season they have all their defenders on board, no injuries, they are starting afresh. I know Van Dijk is not going to start immediately. Joe Gomez is not going to start immediately. Joel Matip is not going to start immediately because they have just recovered from injury. So they will warm up into the season. Now, there are some good omens that are also good for Liverpool. On a scale of 100, 70% of the times, whenever Liverpool starts the season playing against Norwich, they go on to win the league. Good omen. Good omen. The last time they won the league 2 seasons ago, they started their first match was against Norwich.
Okay.
Before then, 21 years ago when they won the league, they started against Norwich. So most of the time when they start against Norwich, it's a good omen for them. So let's see how this season goes. While they are
Have you
starting
checked to
against
see
Norwich.
whether those starts came at home or away?
Away.
Anyway,
when
most
home
of
games,
Because
all
this time we are playing away.
those that I have checked, all of them were home games
Okay.
against Norwich.
This
This time they are
away.
going away against
Okay.
Norwich.
So the omen might not play here.
So let's go on to see Manchester United.
okay.
Now, I feel that Ole,
You play them 10.
yes, Manchester United is third, and I feel that they are also contenders to win the league. So I feel that if Chelsea are not able, if Liverpool are not able, Manchester United should win this league.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, ever since he took over Manchester United, has been consistent in beating the big guns. Check the stats. The big guns are not able to beat Ole. Guardiola is not able. Chelsea are not able. You see, Liverpool struggle against Ole. They do. So if the big guns are not able, all that Ole needs is that he needs to be consistent with the smaller clubs. Those that are not strong enough, he should be able to beat them week in, week out. If he's able to do that, at least with the addition of Varane and Sancho, then Manchester United should be able to win this league hands down. But Guardiola, we all know our favorites to defend this league. But as I said, last season they played false nine. Teams will watch out for them. And they are going to stake that star.
You watch them against, Leicester City in the
community
shield, and you know that definitely Pep Guardiola has a lot of work to do.
Even in the Champions League finals against
Chelsea. Because how can the latter part of the season you meet a particular team on 3 different occasions and they beat you consecutively? Chelsea in the FA Cup, in the second round in the league, they beat Manchester City. In the Champions League, they beat you again 3 times consecutively. It means that teams are watching out for Guardiola and they have seen his tactics and they will match Guardiola boot for boot. And that is why I place Manchester City 4. So Manchester City, if you ask me, 30%, if they will have to win the league, I give them 30%. I don't see them defending this league in any way. The league is between Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United.
Okay, so let's see how it goes now to Saint Mubarak, whose selection has created a lot of discussions. Yes, Manchester United fan who has placed United second, and fans are not happy. But I know you have your own reasons with what Mauto has mentioned as to why he did or he placed Chelsea where he plays and that is first and then the other teams. I don't know. Why did you put Manchester City first? Second is Manchester United. Third is Liverpool. Fourth, Chelsea. Fifth, Leicester City. And then West Ham United. Sixth. Say, any explanations to that?
Well, I think that for sure, you heard Mauto, even who has played City at the 4th position, still saying that they have the materials to defend this particular trophy. Of course, the lapses he thinks Pep Guardiola will have to work on, to be able to defend it, has to do with his formation, his tactics going forward. Because to use this formation going forward, when you have, a certain two-hole coming on, definitely is going to be difficult. And City were finding it difficult, apart from even not beating Manchester, United last season. They found it difficult against the Liverpools and then the Chelseas. And yes, they have advantage over the younger guns, those in quotes, let me put it that way. Because City plays United as the strength they use to play, Norwich City. And so when they meet those clubs, they are able to give them goals. Okay, they bury the goals behind their opponent's net. But that is the disadvantage on the part of Manchester United, that whilst they are beating the big guys, they are not able to, manage points against the smaller or the lesser known clubs. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would need to take advantage of this. Look, it is even better you are able to beat these lesser known clubs who are more than the top six or the top four you have been beaten, so that you'll be able to accumulate more points from the lesser known clubs going forward. But I place City at the top because, like I said, look, they still have these guys in their setup. Apart from Gabriel Jesus, we think do not have the arsenal to lead the attack like Aguero had done in these all years. If they manage before the end of the transfer, to get in Harry Kane, whether he will come in at the latter part of this first round or whether he will come in as early as tomorrow or tomorrow next, I still feel like this is a guy who has decided his future and wants to play, for Manchester City. He comes in with a lot of commitment and he comes in to just definitely play the game that he wishes. And for me, bringing Jack Grealish and then Harry Kane in the same setup is going to cause a lot of havoc for teams. This is a guy who, when you give him 5 chances, can score 3 or 4. Jack Grealish, apart from being a creator, last season he was the most foul player in the English Premier League. That he doesn't fear anybody. When he has possession of the ball, what he does is he wants to take everybody on. And so, apart from creating, has the ability to also score. So, if you have these two fantastic players among your front three, then it means that you have the Arsenal to win or to defend the league. That is the more reason why, because they are also trying to sort of contract extension. Okay, they are trying to give contract extension to most of these stars who helped them to actually win the league. We have seen, John Stones extending his contract. We have seen, of course, the likes of Yao Cancelo, or fantastic team. For me, they have a fantastic team. United is in second, but I think that if this goes on social media like we have done, and then my colleagues out there see, it will motivate them. I am saying that I did this to motivate Manchester United, to win or to prove me wrong. You understand? Because on any good day, looking at what happened yesterday, last season, of course, Maldo has said it. It was difficult for. I think we made a double over City last season, and that was fantastic. If we are going to keep this momentum, look, people are asking what Jadon Sancho is bringing to Manchester United. People look at Marcus Rashford and they think that he plays the same style with Marcus Rashford. But of course, if you look at his stats in Borussia Dortmund, yes, the German Bundesliga is a free-flowing league that even at Dortmund, you are given that opportunity to sort of exploit your talent your own. You understand? If United gives Sancho that free role to operate, I do not think that people will sit down and feel like the style of play Rashford has is the same style. The statistics actually shows from his days at Borussia Dortmund, and I think that he's bringing a different dimension game altogether to Manchester United. Rafael Varane, we've been looking all while to get a good partner for Harry Maguire. But you see, he's the gentleman type of defender. Maguire is very, very tall, okay? But he's not the Rudiger type of player. He's not the Kedzuma type that when he is coming, okay? Look, Massa, he will come with a certain force that you will have no option than to leave the ball for him. Harry Maguire is not that type. So my worry is that when you have two gentle defenders at your back, a kind of don't give you that balance. But if one of them is that bully type, look, I love Rudiger because he doesn't fear him. Look, even if you are the Lionel Messi camp, he will go. He will tackle you and get the ball. You see, but United don't have that kind of player at the back. But I think that I love Maguire.
Varane can do.
Yeah, Varane, I think, look, with the experience, exposure, what is it that he hasn't gotten?
But some of the view that Varane without Ramos is as ordinary as any other.
And that is why you want to make that impact. Okay, He is not just coming to United because United have a bigger offer than what Real Madrid was offering. Okay, he wants to come and make a very big impact. That people should not like what they are saying, should not sit at the back there and think that without Ramos he can play a very good game. Okay, so for me, that is one of the advantages that United probably will get from Varane, that he want to make a point for himself. And few critics who think that it is Ramos who has been shielding him all this while. For me, I think that it's a great signing. Yes, we still have our veteran striker, that is Edison Cavani, who I'm told is arriving today, but because of the quarantine rules in England, he will have to stay for a number of days before he starts training with Manchester United. But hey, Anthony Martial wants to make a point for himself. So before sort of Edison Cavani comes into the setup, probably Varane probably might have cemented his position, in the setup. I'm talking about Antonio Martial. So let's see. But I think that this top six I've given, it's not just because United cannot win, but I want to motivate Manchester United, okay, with this particular standard. But City are still a very good side. He was talking about, Chelsea. You see, yesterday it was clear that Chelsea need a Lukaku type in their setup.
Exactly.
Look, I had a program with him and he was talking about tactics, winning this game. And I tell you, if we had given enough time, Villarreal and Unai Emery would have used his tactics to win. In looking at the substitutions he made, it worked perfection to him. But Tuchel's substitution rather drew the attention of Unai Emery to make one or two changes that eventually helped them to get the equalizer and pin Chelsea to the wall. Look, Malto thought that going to the penalty shootout with what he saw in Gdansk in Poland, it was going to be the same. But from being a villain to a hero, Kepa Arrizabalaga, had other ideas. But Kodi, I must say that Chelsea needs Lukaku. Timo Werner was brought on because of his prowess at RB Leipzig, but he has failed all the Chelsea fans, including me as a sympathizer for Chelsea. You understand? That is why they are bringing on. Yesterday was a clear indication that Chelsea need a striker. Because if Lukaku, who had a fantastic season, even at Manchester United before moving on to Inter Milan, definitely would have scored or wouldn't have taken this match to extra time. So let's see. Chelsea, they are contenders, but I know that they can challenge City and Manchester United.
Okay, so let's see how it goes. Now we will look or we'll zero in down to the fixtures and then we would be ending. If you are watching, kindly just share the video and also leave your comment. Those that have sent in comments, thank you so much. We'll be bringing you this more often. And quickly, the games tomorrow at exactly 7 p.m. Brentford will be coming up against Arsenal. I'll be coming for my predictions. And then also on Saturday, a chunk of the games will be played. Manchester United tea time kickoff will be coming up against Leeds United. Burnley versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Chelsea, the Blues, who Malto is tipping that they would win, are coming up at exactly 2 p.m. against Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. Everton, Southampton, Leicester City versus Wolves. Watford, Aston Villa, and Norwich City would also be coming up against Liverpool. And quickly on Sunday, we would have just two games: Newcastle United versus West Ham United at 1 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. The big game for a first day of game week one: Tottenham Hotspurs versus Manchester City, where we are being told that Harry Kane is not happy that he might play against Manchester City. And from all indications, for me, I believe that he is not going to feature in that first game. Let me go to Mauto and let me pick quick predictions or score lines or anything that he feels about these games. Mauto, first of all, let's go to the Brentford Arsenal game.
Thank you, Cody.
Who is winning?
I think there will be no party for Arsenal tomorrow. There will be no party.
Why?
Look, Brentford are coming with so much fire. Look at how they qualified into the Premiership. Just look at how they qualified. And if you check their preseason, you will know that Brentford is serious. You see, why I say there will be no party for Arsenal tomorrow, it's like I think Ateta is still experimenting with Arsenal, which is wrong.
Are you one of those who were laughing when Smith Rowe was giving the number 10 jersey?
No, Smith Rowe is a fantastic talent. Look, if you have the football eye, you know that Smith Rowe is a talent.
Mm.
All he needs is a good tactician to bring out the best out of him. You see, um, we see what Erling Haaland is doing at his age. Look at what he did from Malmo to Salzburg, now to Dortmund.
Mm.
The talent is there. All you need is a good coach to bring it out. We have seen strikers at Haaland's age who were given opportunities but could not pull their weight. It was not their fault. It's because they didn't get good tacticians to bring out the best out of them. That is the problem. We saw Michael Owen when he rose up the ranks into the Liverpool senior team in the late 90s and eventually winning the Ballon d'Or in 2001. A good coach, bringing the best out of him. Owen transfers to Real Madrid and there was light out. The goals were no longer coming.
Mm.
He had to come back to England to play for Newcastle to get the goals again. So we are saying that Emile Smith Rowe is a fantastic talent. If Arteta is able to keep an eye on this young chap, he's going to be their next Dennis Beckham.
Wow.
But if Arteta is not able to do his homework well, look, he's going to frustrate the whole Arsenal team and they will eventually sack him. He needs to sit up. I don't understand why Arsenal plays without Nicola Pepe. What is Pepe doing at the bench? What is Pepe doing on the bench? Go back and watch Pepe closely when he was at Lille. Now you bring Pepe in and you have the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette. And Nicolas Pepe is on the bench doing what? Now you give Nicolas Pepe minutes and he's unable to bring out his best. Why? Lack of a good manager, a good tactician. So you can't have an Arsenal team and you will not start Nicolas Pepe, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. These three must start, and you must get the best out of all these three to get your gun blazing. But you can't call yourself a gunner when there are no blades in your gun. So Arteta must sit up. Hence, I think that there's not going to be a party for them.
Okay.
They are traveling to Brentford, and I'm predicting a 2-1 for Brentford.
Quickly, Manchester United. This one we are just mentioning. Manchester United, Leeds United.
Manchester United, Leeds United. I think it's a straight win for Manchester United.
Burnley, Brighton.
Burnley, Brighton. I foresee a draw in there.
Okay, so those will be going to the office. Listen, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace.
Straight win for Chelsea.
Everton, Southampton.
Southampton win.
Okay, Leicester, Wolves.
Leicester, Wolves. Wow, another dicey one. Wolves has changed management, but I think it's a win for Leicester.
Norwich City versus Liverpool.
Norwich City, Liverpool. I am predicting 3 goals in this match, and I feel Liverpool might win by 2 goals to 1.
Newcastle United, West Ham.
Newcastle United, West Ham. Say a double chance for West Ham.
Okay, Tottenham Hotspurs, Manchester City. This one you can analyze it for 30 seconds.
All right, so Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester City. I feel City will win this game in the sense that I don't think even if Harry Kane plays, he will give out his 100%. I don't think, because look, Daniel Levy has not been honest with the young man, and that is what will affect his demeanor and his character in the game. So if you ask me, I think Nuno Espirito Santo shouldn't play Harry Kane at all. He should allow Heung-min Son, Steven Bergwijn, and Lucas Moura to send a message to Harry Kane. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
If he makes a mistake, look, Harry Kane shouldn't even play part of this game. Not even a minute should be given to Harry Kane. It's as simple as that. The guy is frustrated. So if you play Harry Kane, you will not get anything from him. We are being honest. Look, Harry Kane doesn't need to show or to prove anything to Manchester City. He has proven it all. That is why City are interested in the first place. So what does he need to prove again? But he is a young man that is frustrated by his management. What can he give you? Nothing much. So it's a win for Manchester City.
Okay, so these are the fixtures, and let me get to say Mubarak. Let's start with the Brentford Arsenal game.
Well, I think I'm going for Arsenal. I have my reasons, honestly speaking. You see, you can't fault, Mikel Arteta at this particular moment. Yes, he needs quality players.
So you believe that there will be a party for Arsenal?
Yes, for me, Arsenal can, start on a very bright note tomorrow. And Brentford are just coming through. Okay, it's not like they have been in the championship before. this is the first time they are coming into the top flight of English football. So definitely they are Ninos in the competition. Arsenal probably will have to use these experienced guys they have. He's talking about Lacazette, he's talking about Pepe, and then Aubameyang playing at the same time. Yes, Rowe can play behind them, and I think that definitely is going to work. It's going to be another fantastic moment for Arsenal. I think that Mikel Arteta wants to prove a point. You see, Arsenal as a team is still playing monies that were used to pay players whom or who did not actually come through the ranks of Mikel Arteta. He came and met, Nicolas Pepe. A lot of players came without his, authority. You understand? So the budget for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta this summer is not as huge as we would have expected for Arsenal to go in and bring a certain 72.5 million pounds Pepe from Lille. Okay, that money is not there now. They will need to fork out before they can get it. And I'm happy that they have started that business. That is shipping Joe Willock to Newcastle United to get about 25 million pounds from Newcastle United. If tomorrow we have made Niles and then other players going, it definitely generates enough. And then we're looking forward to, as usual, Arsenal have always done their business on the last day of the transfer. So we'll probably want to see that coming. But I think Arsenal have a
Yeah, so we don't want to see a situation where La Liga will say, bring the money to us for us to take our share and go and give the rest to Atletico Madrid because they are coming in late. Arsenal. Quickly, so say these ones, let me know.
Okay.
United Leeds United versus Manchester United.
Well, United is straight win for Manchester United.
Marcelo Bielsa.
Yes. Bielsa has not, impressed me. Yeah, preseason it's difficult sometimes to use preseason to judge teams' performances. We have seen it. United in the International Championship Cup went and were beating the Real Madrid, the Barcelona, but they came in under Luis Van Gaal. And what didn't we see? So for me, I think you cannot use. But for me, I think that there has been a change of pattern. Yes, he's brought on some few players. Harrison has permanently joined them. They brought on the likes of Junior Firpo from Barcelona and what have you. They are augmenting the squad, okay. But I still think United have the Arsenal to win this game.
Burnley versus Brighton.
Well, Burnley win in this game.
Okay. Chelsea Crystal Palace.
It's a win for Chelsea.
Everton Southampton.
Win or draw for Everton.
Okay. Leicester City Wolves.
It's a straight win for Leicester.
Watford Aston Villa.
Watford Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I think Aston Villa can carry the day.
Norwich City Liverpool.
Liverpool win.
Newcastle United West Ham
win.
West Ham win.
Yes, they are not going to St. James Park to draw this game because they had a very fantastic team last season, and that is why they are going to play in the Europa League. And you ask yourself, yes, they couldn't keep Jesse Lingard, but David Moyes still have 90% of his players intact. Declan Rice wanted to force his way out, but the man has been able to convince him to stay because they are playing in Europe. So West Ham are not just going to joke this time around.
Tottenham Hotspurs Manchester City.
Well, I think that City definitely want to go for a win, but I think that I look forward to a draw in this particular game.
Let me pick your final comments.
Well, I know that Sports 24 online will give our viewers, our readers, a lot of information when it comes to the Premier League.
Exactly.
Maybe this is just a gist of the iceberg of more, that we'll bring to our viewers. But hey, people should expect a very tough season in the English Premier League. Look, we have seen, we saw how the run was last season. Many people were asking why United couldn't take advantage of City's flop at a certain point in time. City were not winning matches even against the Norwich Cities, the Watfords, and what have you. They were able to open a little bit of a gap, but complete sense set in because they thought that no, if we have beaten Man City home and away, why can't we take the league? Before they realized City had come to take over. And for me, we are going to see a more competitive league. Norwich City, after spending one season in the championship, are back. Now they want to make a point. They wouldn't want to stay. But you see, Mount was talking about they not having the opportunity or the resources to go out there. You see, they want to rely on loan players. Chelsea probably want to loan out Chalobah, who did fantastic yesterday. I don't know why they want to go for Julius Koundé. You understand? Because if you saw what I saw yesterday in that game, Chalobah is perfect to start at the back of defense for Chelsea. So for me, we are looking forward to seeing a very fantastic league. And
Mm.
look, people should expect more from Sports 24.
Okay. Let me go to Mountain. Mountain, the final comment.
Yes, I think that we have to study something really carefully as far as the EPL is concerned. You see, whenever the newly promoted sides come, one of them stands out.
Mm.
Last 2 seasons, we saw what Sheffield United did. Last season, we saw what Leeds United did. This season, let's watch out for Brentford. Thank you.
Okay. So as simple as that. This season, let's watch out for Brentford. Thank you so much. This has been the Sports 24 online show. We are just, as I mentioned, this is just a tip of the iceberg. We'll put together a very concise program so that we, on weekly basis, will come your way. Join us, like our pages on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It is Sports 24 online. And then also read all our exclusive stories on sport24online.com. Send us WhatsApp messages whenever you also have any breaking news you want to share with us. 0249103421. You heard from Sim Mubarak, the lone striker who is a goalkeeper. And then Mauto as well. Thank you guys for coming, and then also thank you guys also for watching. But let me take these messages on Facebook. Ajaho Sterling says a fantastic program and huge brain boxes on the show. Big ups to you all. Thank you. And then Kali Breezy says a great job. Thank you. And Salifu Ewa would say you guys are making us proud down here north or up here north. Allah pay you back. Me. Okay. All right. So we will come back again in the course of the week. You have heard them and their top six, their predictions, and then their score lines for the games that are coming in. Game week one. As for game week one, we are all in for excitement. Let's enjoy the games over the weekend. And within the week, we'll start the analysis. Have a great evening, and may the good Lord be with us all.